half reps can be a great way of overloading your body while eliminating muscular and strength plateaus. The only thing, though, is that the majority of you guys have been taught to do them incorrectly, which is the manual way. Now, before I break down how to do partials the proper way, I want to first explain what the benefits of partials actually are. So here's the thing, right? A lot of guys are going to bash on half reps. They're going to say that full range of motion is the only way, and they're going to reference a ton of exercises that prove their point. But what's really funny about a lot of these movements that they reference is that the majority are not even full range. Because here's what you need to understand, folks. Full range of motion is defined by your own anthropometry. It's defined by how much you can go through all the various joint angles, right? Now, if you put something that stops you from going through that range of motion, then that's not full range, it's a half rep. Let me give you an example. The deadlift. Everybody considers this a full range of motion exercise, right? They say it's a full range pull. Yet, we all know that it's very possible to deadlift with 25-pound plates. So let me ask you this. Is the 45-pound plate deadlift actually full range? Or are you manually stopping yourself? I think the answer is very clear. The deadlift is not actually a full range of motion pull. It is not. Because who decided that these 45-pound plates, this specific diameter, is exactly where you have to stop? I mean, I understand its purposes, the history behind weightlifting and stuff like that. It was necessary at that time. But how can you tell me that the deadlift is full range of motion? And that by that definition, how can you tell me that rack pulls don't work? Because we know, you guys can't be hypocrites here. We know that you could deadlift with 25-pound plates. We know that you could do deficit deadlifts. In reality, aren't these the true representations of what a deadlift actually is? In fact, isn't a real deadlift such that your hands surpass your feet? Is that not a full range of motion pull? So already we can prove without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that partials work because deadlift is a partial. Let me give you a second example, the weighted chin up. Everybody says the weighted chin up is one of the best back exercises of all time, one of the best bicep movements of all time, and it's full range of motion. Well, guess what? The way that 99% of guys do it is not full range because they are not making their hands touch their body. How come in a lat pull down, people get shat on when they do half reps, right? Because it's essential that you touch your body. Yet when it's a weighted chin up, all you got to do is get your chin over the bar. Chin over the bar is not full range. It is not, because your hands are going to be in this position here. You need to go all the way down to this position if you want full range of motion. That's why when you see me doing my bodyweight warm-ups, I'm actually I'm touching the bar with my body. That's a full range of motion pull-up. That's a full range of motion chin. So all these guys saying, oh, full range of motion, that's how come your back and buys are getting so big. Guess what? They're getting big from a partial lift. That's a fact. That is absolutely undeniable unless you're doing the technique that I described, okay? Funny how that works though, right? And then finally, guys are going to say, you know what? You should be doing a dumbbell press because it gives you really deep range of motion, much more than the barbell. Really? Okay, let me ask you this then. Actually, can you do something for me? Go on a dumbbell rack and grab some 5-pound dumbbells, right? And do full range of motion, right? And take a picture of where the dumbbells land on your chest. Then, I want you to grab the 120s. Do the same thing, take a picture. You know what you're going to find? That with the 120s, your hands are elevated slightly. They are. Because as the weight gets heavier, the dumbbells get bulkier, which means range of motion is decreased. What are you actually doing when you're performing a bench press with dumbbells with heavy weight? You're doing a board press. You're doing a 1 to 2 board press. Yet people have the nerve to say that board presses don't work. People have the nerve to say that partial pin presses don't work. People have the balls to say that half reps not touching your chest does not work. Well, last I checked, with the dumbbell press, you're not going full range of motion. Even if you go all the way out, the dumbbells are going to be so bulky that it does reduce range of motion. The only way it can get true range of motion is actually without using fucking weight at all. Doing this, or using a cable machine or some type of apparatus like that. So in every instance, we see that partial reps work. And then one final example, the flat barbell bench press. Well, there's another exercise called the cambered bar bench press, right? Where you actually have a bar that dips like this. If we know that it's possible to do a cambered bar bench, how can you tell me that the bench is a full range of motion exercise? It isn't, because full range of motion is defined by your anthropometry, not rules that were created by this exercise, right? So that said, rant aside, now that my introduction is over, let's break down how to do partial reps safely, how to do them properly, which is in fact by breaking up the eccentric and concentric chain. This is how you do things the proper way. You see, if you try doing manual quarter reps, you're going to fuck up your joints. You're going to stress the connective tissues. and you're actually not going to get really good performance gain at all. You're just going to be stressing your body in a negative way. That's why guys who do quarter reps, like, they have fucked up knees, you know? So the way to get around this is by simply breaking up the eccentric and concentric chain by putting pins, blocks, boards, etc. So if you want to do a quarter squat, yes, quarter squat, when you're about to rebound, put pins there. And now it's going to deload your knees. You can re-explode off a dead stop. That is actually going to strengthen your knees, not to destroy them. Kind of crazy, right? Or you could just squat off a really, really high box. Same premise right there. You're not going to have bad knees doing high box squats. If you want to go at parallel, same thing. You could do pins at parallel. You could do boxes at parallel. For your deadlifts, it's very easy. You just pull off blocks or you do rack pulls. Very simple solution. For the bench press, it's called boards and pins. Boards, you can stack them on your chest. And that's also going to be beneficial for you tall guys who like to complain about your arms being too long. Well, guess what? You don't have to do manual half reps. Just put some boards, 1 to 2 boards. You're all good. Now you can do pause reps on the board, right? Yes, yet it's still a partial. You can develop explosiveness. You don't have to go through all the bullshit of just doing manual half reps, because that's where the problems lie. That's where half reps get a bad rep. When guys do this shit, that's not good. When guys do quarter squats, that's not good. But when you break up the eccentric and concentric chain, now we're actually working with the overload. Now we're not stressing the joints. We're actually strengthening the tendons and ligaments. And that's always something that I've said. When you do partials the way that I describe, you strengthen the tendons and ligaments. You don't destroy them. You strengthen them and you prevent injuries. That's why I'm such a believer in the rack pull above the knee exercise, because whenever you do it, like, you literally feel like fucking Superman. Whenever you go do a row or any other movement afterwards, you feel indestructible. Like, nothing can break you down because you stress your entire body, stress out all the tissues, you know? So this is actually how you do partials the proper way. It's not by doing manually, okay? Because again, you're rebounding in a place that was never supposed to be rebounded. Naturally, your body wants to go through full range of motion. It wants to go through that which is capable of your anthropometry. So if you just manually stop it like this, you're gonna have fucking issues. But if you put pins, blocks, boards, etc., it's a done deal. So that, my friends, is how you do partial reps the proper way. Pins, blocks, boards, you know the deal. So I hope that this video clarifies the benefits of partials as well as explaining how to do it properly. If you have any more questions about this topic, let me know and I will answer them in the next video.